Welcome to Brudiclad, Telchor Engineer. As far as opening hand goes, yes, gonna keep on this in a heartbeat. I like it. I just played against Leovold and just got smashed. It's just like one of those games where you just walk into somewhere and you just get punched in the face and then you just fall down and you die. That's what it's like playing against Leovold in 1 versus 1. But anyway, that is not today's game. We're playing against a Balan, the Wandering Knight. So hopefully we get some good equipment on our opponent's side of the battlefield. And let's see if they need to mulligan past 7 or not, and then we'll jump into our commanders. All right, there we go. Didn't have to wait. Let's go. Do we need to go Cascade Bluffs? Yeah, that's fine. Let's go Cascade Bluffs, and then anything else, we're going to go and pass the turn over to our opponent. We're playing Brudiclad, Telchor Engineer. Creature tokens you control have haste. Then, at the beginning of combat on your turn, create a 2/1 blue mirror artifact. Creature token. I tried to combine blue and mirror on that. Then you may choose a token you control. If you do, each other token you control becomes a copy of that token. Playing against Balan, the Wandering Knight. First strike. Balan has double strike as long as 2 or more equipment are attached to it. Then for 2 mana activation, attach all equipment you control to Balan. And I think that's how you say it, and if I'm wrong, I do apologize, but oh yeah, that's the new addition to the deck, and I'm super excited. All right, let's go Island. Yeah, let's just go Fire Diamond. I'm super excited about Shahili. You know, this is one of those cards that when a new set releases, I always want to try to incorporate some sort of new cards and new decks. It's always fun to see what sort of new cards can make the cut. But with Shahili, whenever they spoiled her and then somebody mentioned Brudiclad, I was like, oh my gosh, that's like an automatic include in Brudiclad. Like it automatically becomes like the number, like top 5 card you should put in Brudiclad. So if you have a Brudiclad deck, make sure you pick up Shahili, because this is everything that you want to be doing in a Brudiclad deck, and especially my build of Brudiclad, because it is kind of like a Spellslinger deck, to where we want to get as many tokens on the battlefield, whether it's Young Pyromancer, different things like that. I'm going to talk about that here in a second, but let's get our turn going. And at this point, if we go Shahili, I think this is what we should do. So we go Island, and then we go Shared Animosity. Yeah, I think I like that. So we go Shared Animosity, because at this point, if we just plop down Shahili, they're going to go for, whether Wayfarer's going to swing in with that Ox or whatever that thing is, and then the Relic Seeker is going to be hitting Shahili, trying to grab her relic. So we're going to go let them go swing in at this point right now. Unfortunately, it does give them the Renown trigger, so they can search for a piece of equipment. But we want to do some setting up. We want to make sure that Shahili is going to be on the battlefield, and she is well taken care of. So that's kind of our game plan. We did cover both commanders. Let's give a quick shout out to our sponsors, MTGOTraders. If you're going to get into Magic Online, whether it's Commander, Multiplayer Commander, Legacy Modern, Penny Dreadful, any Popper's a fun format on Magic Online. Whatever floats your eternal Magic boat, be sure to check out MTGOTraders. And also shout out to inkgaming.com. You can use coupon code JOLT to get 10% off your order, or go to the website, type in JOLT539, and you can see some of the cool playmat designs I have on there. I've got a Ravnica zombie playmat, War of the Spark zombie playmat. I've got Church of Athreos. I've got the Gonti 4-finger discount Black Friday playmat. I've got a Scry the Scurry playmat, and a couple other designs. But yeah, head on over there, and I'll be adding different playmat designs as time goes on. And last but not least, I started a Patreon. So if you'd like to contribute to that, you can get your name at the beginning and the ending of the videos. And I'll be kind of changing up what some of these tiers do a little bit later on. I'll do a video on it. But long story short, it's there if you'd like to join. If not, no worries at all. And then last but not least, it is officially free time. Let's have some fun. All right. So got opponent ended up going for Steel Shaper's Gift. They ended up grabbing Sword of Fire and Ice. So let's go and keep that popped up so we can keep that in mind. And with the Relic Seeker, with them getting that Renown trigger, and whenever I think about Renowned, I think about Tiwu building. I could see the dude. It's a little mono green dork, and he just built a deck and just went on and on about how good the mono green Renowned creature was. And I was like, man, I just don't see it. And so I bought a few extra copies of it, but then ended up finding out that it was just kind of a way to sell more of those those cards through Channel Fireball. And I was like, oh, okay, yeah, that makes sense, because I just remember I put it in a deck. I was like, well, he said it's the newest thing out there, and yeah, I was like, oh, okay, yeah, that kind of makes sense. So Anyways, but yeah, we've covered both commanders, covered sponsors. Let's talk about Brudiclad. Like I mentioned, we have Shahili in here. Really excited about Shahili. This is one of those cards that just fits in perfectly with what we're trying to do. If you haven't seen this deck before, my build of Brudiclad is basically just kind of Young Pyromancer. We have Murmuring Mystic in here. We have Metallurgic Summonings. We Trail of Evidence, which is not even like a creature token build, which is basically getting those clue tokens. Because with Brudiclad, it doesn't matter if it's a clue token or a pyromancer, young pyromancer token, as long as everything can become a copy of it. So if you want all of your tokens to become a copy of clue tokens, you can certainly go for that. Ooh, so fabricate. Yeah, I think at this point we just go for a fabricate, and that's going to give us enough to go for Hour of Devastation. Yeah, I like that. So let's go for fabricate. There's a certain way we want to tap this. Either way, we're having to tap down for some mana. So let's go Cascade Bluffs. Let's go blue, and we'll tap down. Let's go for Fabricate. We're going to grab ourselves. And if we want to, we can actually just go Soul Ring, just to kind of dodge some of that damage. Yeah, let's do that. Because that'll put us in just enough range. I got super worried I didn't have Soul Ring in here for a second. Because that'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, that'll be just enough for Hour of Devastation. Let's grab Soul Ring. Let's go Soul Ring. And the good thing about us grabbing Soul Ring, and if we had the land drop, I would definitely get it down. But with us not hitting the land drop, that's going to keep them off the Weather Wayfarer activation. So we're kind of in this weird holding pattern. And there they go. They hit Scavenger Grounds. But with them being ahead on land drops, that's going to at least kind of keep that Weather Wayfarer in check just a little bit, so that way they can get a few more lands. But yeah, as far as this deck goes, we're just trying to get as many tokens on the battlefield while doing our normal game plan of blue-red spell slinging. So, going for something like Young Pyromancer and then casting a Remand, that's going to give us an extra token. We can use Quasi-Duplicate to kind of turn all of our tokens into a copy of Young Pyromancer and then just cast like one Remand. You can see how many elemental tokens we'll end up with. As far as kind of closing the game out, we do kind of have some bigger payoff spells for the deck. We have Supplant Form. We can return a creature back to our opponent's hand. Let's say they have Inferno Titan on the battlefield. We can use Supplant Form, send it back, have all of our tokens become a copy of Inferno Titan, which is some really good magic. And also something like Saheeli's art. I'm trying to get better about, and I've realized I messed up on it. Saheeli is the correct pronunciation, I think. I've been saying Shahili, like it's S-H-A. And typically, if I say something wrong, it takes about 4 or 5 videos for my brain to kind of process the complaint. Like, let's say my brain has a, hey, you said this wrong complaint department. For some reason, it just takes 4 or 5 videos for that to kind of work its way up through the chain of command in my head. So, Saheeli is the correct pronunciation. So, if you left a comment, hey, I do apologize. I always, it's just kind of one of those things where it's hard to keep in mind. All right, so we've got Hour of Devastation. This is going to be a really nice Hour of Devastation. So we go Island. Yeah, I think I'm dyslexic or some combination of D, all of the above, or something like that. So let's go Hour of Devastation. And yeah, I think at this point we just tap down Fire and Diamonds. That's going to be 5 damage to each creature. That's going to get rid of Weather Wayfarer. It's going to get rid of Relic Seeker and send the commander back to the command zone. So that'll be really good for us and kind of give us a nice reset button. That'll allow us to at least get down Saheeli, and then we can go for Pull from Tomorrow. That'll at least kind of get the tokens going, and we can really start working on building up some of those tokens because one of the good things about Saheeli is that even though they have Sword of Fire and Ice, you'd think it would be just great against this deck, protection from blue and red. She's going to end up making some 1/1 colorless servo artifact creature tokens. So that'll at least allow us to kind of not worry about a Sword of Fire and Ice. One of the best things in Magic is if your opponent's playing Golgari and you get down Sword of Feast and Famine, you're like, ha, unstoppable. This feels good. All right, so we hit the land drop for the turn. Let's go Island. Let's get Saheeli down. That's going to be 1/2. And I think at this point, since we just have straight up blue in the hand, let's add double red off Cascade Bluffs. That way we can have an angry Saheeli. And we could pull from tomorrow for 2. Yeah, I don't think I mind that. I'd like to tap out. We could hold on to it for next turn. Yeah, let's do that. Let's wait for it till next turn. Yeah, I think that would be better. So let's just go and pass the turn, because if we end up tapping out for Pulled from Tomorrow, that'll be a lot better. And they do have haste with Lightning Greaves, so even whatever they get down, we still at least have Remand to kind of cash in a servo token, kind of go for that really nice tempo play. I love Remand. It's one of my favorite cards. Whenever I play Sultai, I always have Remand in my soul type builds, but it just, you know, Remand may not seem like that good of a card in Commander, but there's a lot of times where your opponent's strapped on, you know, their mana for the turn. Let's say the Commander tax is burning the candle at both ends. You can use Remand just as a really nice kind of just tempo play, you know, especially with something like Worn Power Stone. That's going to give us a servo. It's going to set us up for a really nice pull from tomorrow, and that's going to put us right back in this game, especially kind of resetting with Hour of Devastation. Okay, that's going to give us a servo token, and and the cool thing about Saheeli is that this is a non-creature spell, so something like Mind Stone. That's really going to contribute to some good stuff. Pirate's Prize, so it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and we did not hit the land drop for the turn. I think we just tap out for a really nice pull from tomorrow. It's going to be 1, 2, yeah, let's just go for it. We still got a servo token. That'll be an additional servo token. X is going to be 5. Yeah, I like this. So let's go 5. We do have to get rid of a card, but I think at this point, hopefully we'll get rid of something out of this pull from tomorrow. Because I like Mind Stone, I like Quasi-Duplicate. We do need to find some sort of answer for Quasi-Duplicate or some sort of target on the battlefield. Oh, look at that, those artifacts. Expansion Explosion. Is it Signet? Gilded Lotus. I think at this point, if we're going to be pretty low to the ground, I think I'm okay getting rid of Gilded Lotus? Yeah, yeah, that's fine. Because we've got Is It Signet, we've got Is It Locket, and we've got a whole assortment of other stuff. Do we want to go for -2 on the servo token? Have it become a copy of Soul Ring? That way we can get down. Yeah, let's do that. All right, so let's go. Target artifact you control becomes a copy of Soul Ring. I think that's correct. There we go. All right, 1, 2. We get down. Is It Signet? Oh, look at that. That's going to give us an additional servo token. We can swing in with that extra servo too. Swing in for 1. Or actually, we don't need to get in for 1 damage. Let's just go and pass the turn. If they somehow get down double haste, you know, I know that is very slim pickings in white to get double haste somehow. But if they rip into Lightning Greaves or they rip into Swiftfoot Boots somehow, and we get some damage on Saheeli, then we don't want that to happen. Now, as far as next turn goes, since she doesn't really care if it's an instant or sorcery that gets a token on the battlefield, we might do just a little bit more setting up. We might end up going, Is It Locket, Mind Stone, because what you really want to do is with this deck, or at least I'm trying to do, is go for a nice alpha swing. If we can find a creature with Quasi-Duplicate, we certainly can. But even just something going, Is It Locket next turn, Mind Stone, and then going for Pirate's Prize. These treasure tokens, you know, you can have all of our server tokens turned into treasure tokens, so that'll be a really nice expansion or explosion. And that's what makes Brudiclad so much fun, is the fact that all of your tokens just turn into whatever you need it to be. Ends up making for some pretty fun magic. So now let's see what our opponent's going to be tapping out for the turn. Okay, so they're going to go for that 1 Power Stone. And then Sword of the Animus. All right, so they're definitely getting set up for a really nice Voltron swing. They've got 4 cards left in the hand, but I think at this point, with us having protection, there's no trample out there. It just has double strike. Yeah, we can definitely do some more setting up this turn. In fact, that's exactly what we want to do. So we hit Wandering. I think at this point, we just let's just go for it. So let's tap down Soul Ring. We go for Is It Locket. That's going to give us an extra servo token. Let's go Mind Stone. Let's go Pirate's Prize. So we're going to be able to draw 2 cards off of this. All right, we do end up... Oh, awesome. So we run into Mana Drain. We go Island. Yeah, and I think at this point, we just go and pass the turn. Let's go and push in with some of these servo tokens. That's going to put them down to... Oh, look at this. Oh, yeah, I forgot about the Shared Animosity trigger we got on them. That's going to be 9 coming across. We may not even need to get Brudiclad down. That's a good chunk of damage. Sorry about that. Sometimes I get so focused on explaining the deck, or at least kind of worrying about how many tokens we can get on the battlefield, that I forget that we've got Shared Animosity. So it looks like next turn we might even be able to close it out. So what we can do is we go Mana Drain if they're going to cast their commander. And sorry if you hear some noise. My production assistant was sitting in my lap, Dorothy. She's my cat, and she likes to sit in my lap when I record, and then she wanted down, and then she's walking over a big piece of plastic that it's kind of one of those cutting things, like if you're doing crafts on. I was like, come on, Dorothy. I was painting some figurines earlier, and but she's walking on it. So if you heard some plastic noise, that's why. But at this point right now, if we just simply go Anticipate or Mana Drain on whatever spell they're going to cast, that's going to be more than enough. That's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So each creature's going to get +7/+7, and especially once we swing in, that'll be some really good damage. And that also kind of puts us in this position to where we can go for expansion and explosion. So you can definitely see where, at least during this video, Saheeli was something like Shared Animosity. We haven't even got Brudiclad down yet, but you can see we're simply just getting enough tokens on the battlefield that are the same. You can end up getting some pretty nice value board state going. Now, we do have Mana Drain. We can counter this spell. We still should get that extra mana, and I think we might end up going for that, because we could go Anticipate, but I think at this point, yeah, because that's going to give us 4 extra mana next turn. That allows us to go for a really nice expansion, and that'll just be a really good amount of damage that we deal to our opponent, or we could end up going for Anticipate. We'll see. Yeah, because yeah, let's do that, because that's going to be 4 extra mana. We tap out for expansion, or Anticipate's going to allow us to look at the top 3 cards. Yeah, let's do that. So let's go for a Mana Drain. This can't be countered, but there's certain scenarios to where you can counter a spell. Like Mana Drain says counter target spell. And then at the beginning of your end step, we get to add, our main phase, we can add colorless mana equal to that spell's converted mana cost. The way that works is that Mana Drain doesn't say if it is countered, add the mana. It just says, hey, counter the spell, and then you get to add the mana to your mana pool. It's the same thing as if we remanded Balan right now. You know, if we remanded it, it can't be countered, but we still get the card draw, because all that remand cares about is that we countered the spell. It's kind of like destroying a creature with Indestructible. If you have a spell that says, hey, destroy target creature, then you get to do this. Or let's say that our opponent has an Indestructible creature and we go for Assassin's Trophy that says destroy target creature, they get to search their library, or destroy target permanent, they get to search their library for a basic land. If it's indestructible, they still get that basic land, because according to the rules, that creature was destroyed, even though it has indestructible. That's just kind of, you know, if you're new to Magic, one of the best things I always tell people is just turn your brain off. If there's a certain interaction, you can just turn your brain off and just like literally let your brain go through a flow chart. It says counter target spell, and then you get to add that mana to your mana spell, to your mana pool at the next in your main phase. So kind of a quick way to, you know, just turn your brain off and, okay, just think about it in the most literal sense that you can, and sometimes it makes sense. So I think at this point, we just swing in with the servo tokens. We got more than enough damage, but we can just leave up a little bit of extra mana. But let's see what we draw into. All right, so we run into Island. We're going to be able to close it out. Our opponent's completely tapped out, so let's just still go and get Brudiclad down, just to make the Commander Gods happy, because he still gives us an extra token. That'll be 1, 2, 3, 4. Gonna have Brudiclad enter the battlefield. Now you do see where, you know, let's say that we weren't able to get Shared Animosity on the battlefield. Once we get these tokens going, we can actually end up with some really good. Yeah, let's get the Mirror token. And you can see where we can just getting extra treasure tokens for something like expansion could help you close it out. We'll go and have them become a. Oh, I meant to have it become a copy of a Mirror token, but that's okay. We'll still get the Shared Animosity triggers. So it's going to push in with all the servo tokens. That'll make Saheeli happy anyway, that they're all servos. All right, it's going to swing in with all of the servo tokens. Get those beautiful Shared Animosity triggers. Always yield to that trigger. And that should make all of them 8/8s. I mean, excuse me, 8/1s, I think. 9/1s, excuse me. There we go. And our opponent is tapped out, so we don't have to worry about any sort of mono white fog effect. But yeah, Shared Animosity and Saheeli, if you're thinking about building Brudiclad, those are definitely auto-includes in your deck, and you can see how brutal these can be. So let's go and push in. We have Balan standing out there in the field by himself, staring down at just an entire army of servos, but that's going to close it out. So definitely good game to our opponent. And yeah, and it's always fun to kind of get to play a blue-red Spellslinger deck it's kind of like, I always like to think of Brudiclad as Brionne, you know. Blue-red, you think Spellslinger, you think Keranos, you think Niv Mizzet, but being able to kind of play this weird token deck that's just really fun to play, I don't know. Anyways, shout out to our opponent. We put them down to -51 for playing this game out. We do have, it may seem like overkill to swing in, but to get the attack trigger, we have to swing in with all of them. So I'm not trying to run the score up, but have to get that trigger going. But anyways, shout out to our opponent. If you enjoyed the time with Saheeli and a bunch of servo tokens, like and subscribe. Thanks. Bye.